again, this is why female logic doesn't make sense. Could you imagine if you could walk into your employer's office and say, look, man, I want my salary tripled. I want these XYZ benefits. And then, and only then, I'm going to go ahead and complete my duties. And on top of that, by the way, I reserve the right to stop those duties at any time and still get my salary and pension.
Yep.
Would that employer actually allow you to do that? Yes or no?
No.
The answer is a profound no.
Okay, no, but
Hold on. The answer is a profound no. That is exactly what marriage is. And that's what I mean when I say these women bully the men into the marriage, because marriage, realistically speaking, it was a trick question, ladies, doesn't benefit men at all. You can get everything that a woman provides without the confinements of marriage in today's day and age, especially with the way women are as far as, you know, promiscuity and having sex. So it really doesn't benefit men at all. It actually puts them in a detriment. And that's why I'm arguing, if you're able to tell a man, I'm not going to cook and clean or display these wife duties until you elevate me to wife, and he actually complies with that, you ain't going to respect him in the first place. Because that tells me he doesn't have leverage to tell you what the fuck it really is. If you are working at a Fortune 500 company or a prestigious law firm, you can't tell them, I'm going to be a partner and I'm going to do this after the fact. They're going to tell you, get the fuck out of here. We have other qualified employees that are better than you that we can hire that will gladly take your job. Then, and only then, will you respect that position, because you could be replaced.
it wasn't a point to just say, oh, I'm never going to do anything. I'm just going to be a horrible girlfriend until I'm a wife or whatever. But it's like, it's more so you're not going to
Well, if you're not cooking and cleaning, you're a horrible girlfriend by default.
That's facts, yeah.
But that's what I'm
basic
saying
duties.
what are the rules and responsibilities of a girlfriend, and what are the rules and responsibilities of a wife, and what's the difference? Why would men get married if there's ultimately no difference?
Outside of that. So also, question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yourself, dating. You ever been in love?
Yeah.
Okay, question. When you're dating that guy, did you do wifely duties off rip?
Yes, I did.
So what?
But that's me.
But you didn't need marriage, right?
No.
Why?
Because I did it because I wanted to, not because I felt obligated.
So marriage is going to be based off of your preference or in your head what you think it should be, which means, as by default, you love somebody regardless of the facts. So if you're telling men you need to get married because if you don't, I won't become that wife, what are you really saying? You're saying that on some level, as a red flag, I'm going to change because it's going to benefit me in the future. Versus you love him generally, you're going to do it regardless.
Yeah, but
not only that,
I asked, what are the responsibilities and roles of a girlfriend compared to what are the roles and responsibilities of a wife? And why would men get married if there's ultimately no
What if I
difference?
told you, Tricky? They're the same.
They're the same.
They're the same.
Yep.
So that's
and that's where so many girls fuck up. Like, they think, oh, I'm going to behave like a wife after I become a wife. That's why a lot of chicks don't get married. Because guys are looking at it like, wait, you can't even do the job and you want the promotion? But only in America and in the West do we allow women to have crazy standards where they're able to demand things without providing the value back.
That's not even just in the West, though. They practice this in lots of other cultures. In African cultures, Nigerian weddings, they have to give money, give gifts, give promises
but what are they?
to the wife.
Hold on. Let's put some onus on the females. What are they getting back in exchange from that woman? They're getting a virgin. They're getting a woman that comes from a two-parent household. They're getting a woman that understands basic rudimentary things of cooking and cleaning, not talking back, not interrupting. Stop for 2 seconds. Okay? They're getting a woman that has some semblance of traditional values in exchange for them doing that. So my thing is, if y'all want to use marriage as the crutch, is the guy really getting a fair return back? The answer in the West in general is a no.
So is it only in Western culture where women get or have sex before marriage? Is that the only difference? That's the only difference that I heard.
It happens a lot in the West because we've decentivized sex. I mean, we asked you guys a bunch of you guys openly speak about sex with your parents. In other places, that's a big fucking profound, like that's a no-no.
Yeah.
So here in the West, we've sexualized women and it's open and that's fine. But what I am saying is that you can't sit here and be progressive in that aspect, but then want to be regressive in other aspects such as marriage.
I think that a huge thing that people are getting caught up on is, like, in Western society, marriage is such a huge construct because it involves these contracts, and it does involve putting your finances together and tying yourself, and then getting unmarried is so complicated. So the preference
and it only hold on. You're missing one important thing. It only benefits women.
And so the preference of what a marriage is.
I love how she didn't address that.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about it, and what you're saying, it makes it makes sense because what the preference of what people want a marriage for. And I've also heard men say they want a marriage and then the woman is saying no. So I've heard that before, but I think what people are tying marriage to is monogamy. And so they're like, okay, if this person marries me, they have to be with me for the rest of their life. And so that's like a preference that they put on it. Or if this person marries me, then our finances are going. And that's another perspective that some girls take. So they're like,
notice,
okay,
hold on. Both those things you just mentioned, monogamy and finances being tied together, who does that inherently benefit?
But I'm saying...
Hold on, that's important.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the man's perspective on when a man wants the girl to be married, it's because they want the girl to be locked down.
Mm-hmm. Yes. No. On some level.
No, not that's what I've heard.
The two things you just mentioned.
And then for girls...
Hold on, stop. Because because if we're going to have this conversation, we need to look at it from a holistic standpoint. What you just mentioned, the monogamy and then combining of the finances, who does that benefit?
Right. So
the women, most of the time.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I totally agree with you. And that's what I'm saying. The question was about Western society. And this is
the question is what benefits men
in Western society, right? Marriage.
No. So you guys don't even remember the question. It started first was basically relationships. What would you bring to a relationship in a marriage or whatever? But it was a little hard for you guys to understand. So I rephrased it so it makes more sense. Name one benefit that a guy would get in a marriage that he wouldn't get in a regular relationship.
Okay.
That's how this started.
So that's what I'm saying. There are men who have the construction that, okay, if I lock this girl down, she's going to be monogamous to me, and then that's the only reason that they're proposing. And that's, men get tricked into that for that reason. Otherwise, a girl is also looking for the same thing. She wants monogamy, or it could be the finances thing. She wants the finances tied together, right? So it could be one or the other thing. But what like overall,
the first thing you mentioned with he wants a monogamy from the girl, he's doing that because she's threatening to leave, like she had mentioned, and then she had mentioned.
Yeah, or societies, or the built-in
because
fear.
Women bully men into marriage all the time.
But I also disagree with your statement about them bullying, though.
That's quite literally bullying. You're telling him, if you don't, you're giving him an ultimatum.
Yeah.
To do something that he doesn't want to do.
I wouldn't give an ultimatum. I think that it's important to state your desires, what you want in a relationship on the first date or when you communicate with somebody before you move forward and say this is an ultimatum.
That's easy to say in 2020 hindsight, but how many times do girls end up in a relationship with a guy? It goes 1 year, 2 years. Okay, but I'm saying in general because I've talked to a million women about this.
Right.
They've been going for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Oh, he's not marrying me. They threaten the guy. If you don't marry me, I am going to leave.
I think that anybody that puts you in an ultimatum is selfish and they don't want to be with you.
But I've also heard that guys don't need 3, 4, 5 years to determine whether or not they're going to...
They don't. But you made a good point. If the guy's pushing for marriage, it's because one, he wants to tie you down and not lose you.
Yes.
But two, what he's saying is, for example, the girl's saying to him, oh, if you don't marry me, I'm going to leave.
Exactly.
That's a tactic to kind of tie you down as well.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like on both sides. That's what I'm saying. Because there are some weak men who do allow girls to manipulate them, and they're like, this girl is going to leave me. I'm going to be by myself, so I have to lock it down. So it's not just the girl wanting marriage. Sometimes it's guys that aren't thinking clearly, and they're just like,
he wants marriage in response to a threat of her leaving. That's way different than
right.
She wants the marriage, he doesn't. She threatens to leave. Now his goal shifts because he understands if I don't commit to her, she's gonna leave me. She has the power.
Or his parents or something put that thought, and the girl didn't even say something.
It's the women most of the time. Just keep it in mind. It's women that want to walk down the aisle in a white dress and spend a bunch of money on a ceremony, and you know what I mean. It's what women want. And guys are stupid and go ahead and actually marry women. But the reality is, if your girl is able to bully you or tell you this is the ultimatum and you actually comply, she never liked you like that in the first place. You don't have any power. You don't have any leverage. And women don't respect that. That's why most marriages end in divorce anyway.
What's so funny, Foot Locker?
Would you plan on getting married?
Foot Locker is crazy. I would have preferred you calling me a ref.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
Or like, what's your
I just think that it's funny because I've seen men also manipulate women and make them feel like they have to commit and lie and cheat and be deceitful.
Commit in what way? Not through marriage.
In marriage?
Typically not through marriage.
I have.
Really?
How?
I have.
How?
What do you mean how?
But is that
I've seen a man force a woman into a marriage and maybe cheat on them or control.
But is that the norm?
No, it's not the norm.
That's my point. It's the women that are typically angling for
So
marriage, not
I think that, can I be honest? I don't want to offend anybody, but I think that men have a lack of accountability. We are all adults when we enter a relationship. And I think that I think women can be intimidating, but nobody can bully you into a relationship. Y'all know that y'all don't want to be in relationships. And instead of saying, hey, this is not what I want, you guys go through with it.
Yeah, you're right.
And then long term, you wake up 36 years later, unhappy as fuck with your 4 kids, living in the suburbs of Rhode Island, wondering why this isn't what you wanted or what you desired. And then you meet a redhead on Rodeo Drive in California on a business trip, and then you think this is all of what you need.
Who hurt you?
I mean,
no, nobody hurt me. I'm just saying that a lot of times men don't. I think that because you guys are so out of touch with your feelings, y'all don't realize.
This sounds like
think,
to me they want new pussy, man. So if they give them new pussy, that should be fine, right?
When you experience, but another thing that y'all need to wake up to, y'all are not a commodity, a hot commodity in the sense women naturally are. And I'm not saying that in a bad thing. I'm saying that in the sense that pussy wants the world. We all know that, which is why you guys are making the point that, okay, women can bully a man into a relationship. It's not necessarily bullying.
Yeah,
you guys come out of the womb being expected to fuck your feelings. You're supposed to produce, whether it means work, money, or whatever the case is. But when y'all are pushed into that, you're not thinking about your emotions. That's why you wake up 36 years later wondering why you're on Rodeo Drive worrying about Andy.
Who's on Rodeo Drive right now?
I'm giving
emotional damage.
I take it back.
I'm giving a hypothetical. I don't know anybody from California.
Tyrone?
I take it back. You are kind of funny.
I know.
No, but for real though, I don't know nobody from California, so please don't quote me. I'm just saying that I've heard stories and I've read things and I've met people that really feel like, damn. I've met men that are unhappy with their lives, and rather than them thinking that one thought back then of, oh, girl was like, damn, I don't really want to be with her because this girl makes me feel X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Y'all convince yourselves it's the woman's fault and not your own.
No, not even. They just stay and they just put up with it.
Do you ever think that guys get married to a woman for money?
Let me address. Almost never. Men don't give a shit about female money.
Yeah, it's 20/80 in that sense.
Yeah, men don't care about
90-10.
money. And most women that have
no, you
money,
ain't tricking if you got it.
And most women that have money are intelligent enough to not marry a man that makes less money than themselves. Typically. Men are the only ones that are idiots that don't marry that marry a chick that makes significantly less than to your situation with the guy waking up later on in life, I agree with you. Most guys don't take accountability and they let a woman bully them into a bad situation and they get fucked up and they don't realize until later on.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you on that. But that's why podcasts like this are very important. We tell guys to understand their value, and I would argue that because you're saying women are I would argue I think men are the prize once you reach a certain spectrum. But it's the women that are chasing the relationships. It's just that guys don't understand that women are chasing the relationships and they don't make women wait for relationships. Just like, girls control sex, men control relationships, and then not enough guys understand their value.
Okay, I can see that.
But yes, I agree with you that it's a lack of accountability of understanding their value, and that's why they end up with predatory or shitty girlfriends.
Yeah, they allow it to happen. Or they just
So we agree with you on that.
Or they're
just like girls that date broke niggas and fall in love with them. I'm not promoting that. I'm just saying like
I've read like a few times, and I actually went through like coaching programs and stuff, and it's weird because the coaches that were in there, they always pushed marriage, and I never really understood why. They're like,
keep fucking my wife's mouth.